Hey readers! So today I thought I would talk to you guys about the two Stephen Kings that I've just read recently. The first one is The Shining, and let me just say it was amazingness. I love horror movies, but my problem is if an image is really disturbing, like in Sinister. I don't know if you guys have seen that. Don't see it if you are afraid of things at movies at all. That was bad. I had to drive home afterwards in the dark. I got lost. I thought I was going to die. I have never been so scared in my life. I love the creepiness that comes with horror, and the ideas and the psychology and the just twistedness. It makes me just, it's so interesting. And The Shining was kind of perfect for a horror book. So the novel is about a family of three: Mom, Wendy, Dad, Jack, and little son, Danny. The dad, Jack, is an alcoholic. He's lost a lot of jobs. He broke his son's arm at one point. Just all of this turmoil has happened in their marriage because of it. And both he and his wife have this terrible history with their parents. Lots of abuse and things. So they have a rocky marriage, and then their son Danny happens to be able to read minds. You can imagine this is an interesting family. The family has had it. This is his last chance. The dad just got fired from his job as an English teacher. He's not writing any of his books. He's just drinking all the time. He gets this opportunity to work at this hotel, and it is haunted, obviously. I mean, where else are you going to go from there? With this novel, there was just so much build up, but you were so interested in the family background and history, and there was such great character development that it didn't matter that it didn't get to the exciting bits for a little bit. Sometimes when there's a lot of build up, you're disappointed, but this was just so perfect in the build up. And horror movies that I like, you have someone that you're rooting for and you want them to live so badly, even though you know they're probably not. And this really did a good job of that, and I wasn't totally heartbroken with someone dying early or stupidly. So that was great. So the dad, Jack Torrance, actually ends up kind of becoming the villain in a way. Basically, the spirits of the hotel embody him and make him go crazy and want to hurt his family. And you want to hate him so much, and sometimes you kind of do, but other times you really want to forgive him. And this book really played with my emotions, but in a good way. Yeah, I would definitely recommend this to pretty much anybody, as long as you can stomach a little bit of horror and creepiness. This was definitely a good read. One of my new favorite books. So after finishing The Shining, I went right and got Carrie, because I had seen the trailers for the new version of the movie, and those looked really exciting and cool. With Carrie, I was a little bit more disappointed in the contents. It was much shorter. I wish he had taken it to the level he did with The Shining, and both lengthwise and time-wise. It covered such a short bit of time. I wasn't very satisfied with it, quite honestly. But the pretext was good. So Carrie is about this girl who has a super religious mother. Her mother is so strict. She has to wear the most modest clothes possible and the most simple materials. She can't have a mirror. It's kind of like Abnegation from Divergent, only she thinks that her daughter is the devil, and there's not a lot of selflessness there. She really embodies that girl who was picked on in middle school because she had the wrong clothes, she didn't have the right body, she had the freaky mother, and she just was really shy because of all this mostly, and there was no hope for her not being teased. And on top of that, she has some telekinetic powers, and that goes well. The biggest issue I had with this book was every few chapters there would be these news articles from the future of the trial that happened after all the big events in the book took place, and it basically spoiled everything in the book. I just really wish you had found out about Carrie's powers slowly and been wait, does she have telekinesis? Something's going on. I would have enjoyed figuring that out. I like books that make you figure things out. And then it basically told you about all these big events and deaths, and that pissed me off so much. you have no idea. Overall, the plot with the over-religious mother, the powers, and the points of views from her teacher and other high school kids, that all was very interesting. So I did still like the book, even though those newsletters, I will never get over that. It would have been so good if he had just written a longer book, no newsletters. There just wasn't the suspense because you knew what was going to happen. And another thing I really liked was there was this character, Sue Snell, and she was more of a popular girl, but she was able to really see Carrie for who she was and feel bad for her, and that really was compelling for me, Sue Snell's point of view. I'm gonna give a few spoilers because honestly the book gives them away anyway. So Sue Snell, in her midst of feeling bad for Carrie, has her boyfriend take her to prom, hoping to give her like this one night of happiness, where this girl's trying to get back at Carrie because she was suspended for bullying Carrie. So much hypocrisy. So much. And she basically tries to dump a bunch of buckets of pig's blood on her. And then Carrie goes on a giant rampage and basically destroys the town, as she's just gone snapped at this point. Her mom has abused her terribly throughout her entire life for doing anything that she said was a sin. She's made her hate her own body. She beat her for getting breasts and getting her period because she said that if she hadn't sinned, she would never have had those things, and good girls can't reproduce, apparently, because even if you're married, okay, her mom is so overly religious, even married sex is a sin with her. Yeah. So basically, worst prom ever. The Shining had a very satisfying ending. This did not. The movie looks really great though. I feel like there was a lot they could do with it. There's some books you can tell, especially with horror, you can tell the movie can be made really great. So I'm definitely going to watch that because I did still like the book despite all the annoyances I had with it. And I'm still going to probably read some more Stephen King. If you haven't ever picked up horror Stephen King, I would honestly recommend him to pretty much anybody. The stuff I've read so far doesn't get like too gritty and gross. There are some small parts that are a little much if you're creeped out easily. But he's just a really good writer, and they're really good reads, and I would 100% recommend him, and I'm definitely going to read a lot more of his stuff and watch the movies. Would like to see more of what I'm reading, you can follow me on Goodreads, and if you have any suggestions for what else I should read, any other Stephen King books I should read, or any other books, comment below. If you want to tell me what you thought of these books, also comment below. And subscribe if you want to see some more. Bye guys!